Welcome cycling fans to another cycling video. This one I want to share with you my PR attempt, my successful PR attempt on my local climb. And for this I want to show you first of all the numbers, and then we're going to watch together the PR record attempt, and I'm going to tell you what I did on this particular day and what I do to get my PRs, my climbs. And without further ado, let's go into it. So this is the last attempt, my last PR, and I just want you to remember the power. So it's 350 watts for 8 minutes 48. You can see it here. My new record is 8:22. So we remember we're at 354 watts. In this one, the new record is 349 watts. So the power is basically the same, but I managed to shave off 26 seconds because of weather conditions and because of weight loss. So what has happened on this climb? We have almost 900 meters VAM, which is not bad, but I'm aiming for more. I'm aiming to go down here to in the 7 minutes, and yeah, that's it. 350 watts for 8 minutes 22. That's basically the most important. The climb is not very steep, 3.8% average. It's only 125 meters elevation in total. Welcome to the video, cyclists. This is gonna be another attempt. Here we have the starting line. Let's go. Another attempt at my PR on my favorite local climb. I'm gonna talk to you about how to get the PR, what the factors are, and how to do it. And this one, I'm using a power meter. You can see on the right side, we have the cadence numbers and the power numbers, and the speed. Also, the speed is from the GPS sensor in the Brighton. That's the cycling computer, so it tells us how fast we're going. But the most important is I just have those two numbers, the cadence and the power, showing on my Brighton while I'm doing this PR attempt. This is the most important, to try to keep a cadence of at least 90 to 100. I like to keep it around 95, 100. So that's where the legs are the most efficient. You get the less fatigue metabolites, so we don't get burnout from the legs. We don't get the lactate going as quickly when we have the high cadence. And the power is something you will have to find out doing tests, doing trials, time trials. This time trial for me is about a 9-minute time trial. It used to be a 10-minute time trial, but I brought it down to 9 minutes. And my last record was 8:45, and this time I did 8:22. And my best average power on this climb is 360 watts for about 9 minutes and 15 seconds. So I know I can hold about 350 watts, 360 watts even, average. So I try to average this number more or less on the power meter, but it's not always possible. You know, I always get some peaks higher, I go a little lower, depends how the gradient is. Also, if it's a little bit steeper, it's a little bit easier to push harder. When it's flatter, you're going much faster, so you let it roll a little bit less watts, but that doesn't matter. Like when you feel you're pushing your hardest, then that's gonna be good enough. So this one I averaged 350 watts, and why did I get so much better time even though my watts are lower? Well, there's two factors playing in your PR. There's the weight. My weight has gone down since I did my last power record, so I went down about 10 kilograms. What does that mean? The watts per kilo the ratio from watts per kilo goes up, so I don't need to push as many watts per kilo of mass of my body. And if the watts stay the same and your weight goes down, then your speed goes up, your time goes down up the climb. And the second factor, which was very decisive on this day, was the weather. So I had wind pushing me from the back, and this is makes a big difference. You can see on the right, if you paid attention, like the trees are shaking a lot, and even the flags were moving in the right direction. So that makes a big difference. The weather conditions and the weight. If you can get your weight down, if I can get my weight down, I'm gonna be faster doing the same effort. I also try to up my effort, but when I can only hold the same effort, my time goes down. Here I did a little bit of sketchy maneuver, overtaking this tractor, but when you have good visibility, you can do it. But I don't suggest you taking any risks on such climbs on the roads. Here I'm doing a TT record attempt, so I want to be as fast as possible. I don't want to wait behind the tractor any more than necessary. So that's the part during the climb. So having the power meter is very important. So the power meter shows you the cadence and the power. That's what I use. And then having the right gears also. But this climb is not that steep. It goes only up to 7%. So basically any cassette, like a 28 cassette, is going to be definitely enough. And in the front, even compact gearing is going to be enough, but probably even non-compact gearing. If you have a 3928, you could probably do this climb and have a cadence of around 85, which would be enough here. This is one of the steeper parts, and I try to have my cadence where I go into it pretty high, but you can see the wind is pushing me. It's not that steep actually. No, now the cadence is going a little bit down. It's only like 80, you see? It gets a little bit steeper, so the cadence goes a little bit down. But that's not to worry. So, and the second part is the preparation. So you need to do some training. And what I like to do in the evening before is have a big rice meal. So it's fill up on carbs, carbing up, you know. So you have your glycogen retention to the max. It's pumped up. You have the sugar, the glycogen in your muscles ready to be burned. And after waking up, the sleep has to be good. I recommend 10 hours of sleep if possible. Sleep as early and as long as you can before you go to this climb. And do your own TT. And what else? So for breakfast, I try to be as light as possible going up here. But I want to be carved up also, so I do a few sips of smoothie or juice or something like that. I don't eat anything solid, but I also don't finish like half a smoothie or a full smoothie. I do like a little bit, because my run up to this climb is only 30 minutes, so that's pretty short. So I have a 30 minutes warm up to get to the bottom of this climb. Then I can do a rest a little bit, 2-3 minutes resting, waiting, and then go full gas. And that's it. And after waking up, get as much water in as possible. Like 1 liter is fine, it's good. It gets your blood volume up, and then it gets you pumping the blood through the veins to get your max effort going. So now I'm getting to the last curve, the last minute of this climb, the last 45 seconds. Fortunately, there's a red light. I could have gone like even a little bit faster on this one if there wasn't a red light on this particular day. So I have to take a little bit of a slow route and slow down because there's traffic in front. But now normally here I would sprint as fast as possible. It's the last I would say 75 meters. That's where I can do a sprint. Last 100 to 75 meters I can do a sprint, standing up and giving it all. But now I'm doing only 300 watts. I would have done maybe 450, 500 watts. And here you can see the sign on the right. That's the finish line. And yeah, basically that's it, how I got my last PR. Thanks for watching, and I see you in the next.